Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So in front of us is the all-new 2023 Nissan Altima SR all-wheel drive, finished off in gun metallic. We'll also go over the MSRP once we go over all the specs and features for this all-new sedan, as well as get this out on the road. So let's start off with what powers this. Underneath the hood is the 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine. This is paired to a CVT transmission, pumping out 188 horsepower, 180 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the all-wheel drive system, propelling this 3,400-pound sedan from 0 to 60 in just over 7 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles an hour. It also has a fuel range right around 26 miles per gallon in the city and 36 out on the highway. So if you want a very economical and fuel-efficient sedan, this is definitely a great option to go with, especially with its base MSRP. So let's work our way to the exterior styling now, where this has a new front fascia. We have a new design for that V-motion grille, finished off in black. There's even some black chrome accents just underneath the LED headlights, where this also has LED DRLs and turn signals, which is now standard for this. There's some black trim accents on each side, as well as having the Nissan logo, which is also a part of the forward-facing sensor. It's nice to have that incorporated. It doesn't break up the rest of that grille. The red SR logo is also over on that driver's side, and there's some nice lines that come down the hood, but the main focal point is that massive grille, which has a nice design, even with the gloss black right in the middle, the lower section of the bumper there. So as we work our way to the side for this SR, this gets a really nice set of 19-inch wheels. SR is also stamped in this wheel, two-tone design to it. I think it matches very nicely with this gunmetal exterior. This even has gloss black mirror caps. You can see that extends to the upper section as well as in between the doors. There's chrome accents in the lower section. This even gets a sunroof, and then some pretty nice lines that run down the side. There's one that starts at the headlight and it goes all the way to the taillights. A few lines are in the lower section there. And then for the rear, this has a body colored trunk mounted spoiler. Very subtle and nice to see that. This has LED taillights as well, backup camera with all of the parking sensors. There's gloss black in that lower diffuser and even the dual exhaust. So let's go ahead and take a listen to this, because it does have remote start. So if you lock the vehicle and then hold on this button, it will start right up. You can use that button to shut it off as well if needed. I can unlock it from here. There's also a button to gain access to the trunk, or you can use the more convenient option just underneath and lift this up. Now for this family style sedan, there's a ton of room with the back seats up. So you have a lot of space to put in any items that you need to. This does have a spare tire underneath, so it's up underneath this portion here where you have a little bit of extra storage. And you can't even fold these back seats down. So you can pull on each of these here with them folded down. That gives you a lot more space. And then the trunk is very lightweight, so that is easy to close up. As we work our way to these back seats now, what I love for this SR model, the fact that it is currently locked right now. I do not like that you cannot lock and unlock it from that back door handle. But what I love on the interior is the dual color stitching along with the leather. You'll see that on the back here, there's black around the window control, one speaker, and a little bit of storage underneath that. There's some plastic up top. That's to be expected with this MSRP, which again, we'll go over once we get this out on the road. And then we have the leather seats with more of that dual color stitching. At 5'10", it's really easy to enter and exit. So I like the amount of space. I have plenty of room down below. There's some auxiliaries too, even a storage pocket on that passenger side. And then with the armrest, you get 2 cup holders if you need to use those, and plenty of visibility. It's very, very open feeling for the size of this car. And with the driver interior, you get even more of that dual color stitching in this back section here. There's a trim piece coming just off of that release handle, another speaker, a little bit more storage, all of the window and side mirror adjustments as well. And then a same design for these front seats, which are heated. They're also automatic, so all of those adjustments are down on the side. And it is a low car, so it's easy to get into. The door opens up very wide at the same time too. I almost have to come out of my seat to grab that. So it's nice that you have that amount of accessibility to enter and exit. And as we fire this up, the steering wheel is completely covered in solid leather with some more stitching. It'd be cool to see that dual color, but nonetheless, it has a nice design to it. On this left side, there's volume as well as tuning. All of these are for the LCD screen right in the middle. You'll notice the tach and the engine temperature on that left side, and then the fuel level and the miles per hour on that right side. So currently it is showing the music, and if I use these, you can pull up these standard safety features like the forward collision, blind spot, even the lane keeping assist. Go into various settings here, just depending on what you'd like to see, how you want this to be configured. If I scroll back, we can also go over to the compass. You can pull up your fuel economy, even look at your trip information. There's another compass, and we are back to music. If I go all the way back to home though, you can even scroll down again here, look at your speed, and you have some blank page there that you can go into as well. So if you don't want to show any of that info, you can do that. Even though this is a CVT transmission, it does have paddle shifters, so we'll test those once we get this out on the road. Cruise control is on this right side, as well as Bluetooth and the voice commands. On this left side, you can open up the trunk. There's some dimmer switches and the trip reset, as well as one air vent. And then all new for this 2023 year model is the 12.3-inch touchscreen system. So on the home screen right now, you can see phone, music, navigation. You can swipe over and look at some more of these icons. There's even some blank pages too, where you can add some more info as needed. On this left side, there's notifications. Home brings us back to what I was just on. You can also pull up the nav in full screen, go to your music, have your phone when that is paired so you can quickly get to that. And then this last box right here to push on brings you up with these apps here where you can go through all of that info just depending on what you like to see. I think it's a really cool new system for this. It doesn't look out of place and it gives you all the graphics that you need. Now underneath that, there's a brightness and a dimmer switch for this system. Power and volume for the radio is right in the middle, as well as tuning. There are two air vents underneath that, and I don't know if you can see on camera, but this has a carbon fiber-like weave to it for that entire trim piece with the brushed aluminum just underneath that. Now for all the climate adjustments, there's fan speed, temperature, where you'd like the air to go, the heated seat adjustments, and then a few defrosters right in the middle. This even gets a wireless charging pad with some more auxiliaries, so you can charge even more electronics if you need to. There's more leather and that dual stitching on each side. Two cup holders are right in the middle. And then if I put this into reverse, you'll see the backup camera up here with the guidelines. So it gives you some great graphics for that. Of course, we have drive and then the low range gear too. The electronic parking brake is just behind that. More stitching for the center armrest where you get a good amount of space. And then the glove box even has an ample amount of room. And this even has a sunroof. The sunshade is manual adjusting, so you can open and close that. You can further open up the sunroof with a control in the middle, as well as having the dome lights there. There's even a sunglass holder too, which is really convenient to have. And then a look at visibility from the driver's seat. Like I said earlier, it is very, very open feeling. So let's go ahead and get this out on the road. And we'll give it another acceleration, pedal to the floor. Even coming around a turn, that's pretty solid. I am impressed with some of the handling characteristics that this Altima does have to offer. Even taking that turn, we have the all-wheel drive system, so that is going to give you a little bit more grip. You can get front-wheel drive if you're not looking to spend the extra money for all-wheel drive. But if you live in an area where you might need it, you know, it's definitely an option to go with if that is what you're looking for. So a look from this angle at the interior, I think it is very nice. There is a little bit of plastic that you can see on the dash here. I'm not sure behind this, it might be plastic wrapped in the leather there, but nonetheless, you know, you're spending 30 grand, you're not getting all those extra bells and whistles and some of those types of materials. But we have leather on the steering wheel. We even have the leather seats, a little bit of plastic up under here. But aside from that, you wouldn't look at this and be like, it's a cheap interior. It actually has a good vibe to it for the price that you're spending for this. And the dual stitching, or the dual color stitching, is definitely a nice upgrade and a nice touch for this, as well as that infotainment system. And as far as this being a good family style sedan, there is plenty of room behind the front seats, as you've already seen. So you have a practical and a good size sedan that you can definitely daily drive. You can put a lot of seat time behind the wheel of this car. And as we use the paddles, we have a few twisties here where we can test out some of the handling. You know, I'm not doing anything performance oriented with this today, but we have a slight turn. And while I'm even on the gas too, I am pretty impressed. It doesn't feel like it's just gonna float and go wherever you want it. You know, steering is actually pretty direct for this type of vehicle. I'm actually very impressed with how this has been driving, and I'm gonna be driving this for a few more days just to get some more of my opinions and thoughts on this. So if you have any comments or questions, I will definitely have a good bit of seat time behind the wheel of this Nissan Altima. So what do you think? Pretty much a $30,000 Nissan sedan. Comment down below your thoughts on the slight redesign for this Altima, but I think that's going to wrap it up for today's full walk around and review for the 2023 Nissan Altima SR all-wheel drive. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads, and I will see you all in the next video.